in some parts of the world, the folk hero tradition of Americanism actually created a religion, one based around the worship of the founding fathers. But here with our next character, the great Buzzard out here as High Chieftain Golden of Blue Ridge, rather than participating in the folk hero tradition from the Americanist side, we're going to participate it from the folk hero side. We're going to be playing with High Chieftain Golden, the teller of tall tales, the doer of big deeds, hopefully the builder of an Appalachian cultural empire built up to rival, or maybe even help in the destruction of the Holy Columbian Commonwealth. But we're going to be playing this character with a heavy emphasis on roleplay here with the Great Buzzard, because for those of you who watched the lore video, you'll know that the Appalachian Mountains, where we're playing, the story that the Cherokee had for the creation of these mountains was that a giant buzzard, after a great flood, laid down and died. And that role-playing aspect is also going to be here for this character, High Chieftain Golden, because this is a post-apocalyptic world, and these are people who were left behind after a great rapture. This is the society that's going to develop from them. And there's going to be, underpinning debates as to whether or not the rapture actually occurred. Is that what the event was? Some of these conversations are going to have been solved by the people living here within after the end, post-event. But some of these questions, I imagine, are probably still going to exist. And we might see some really interesting religious movements emerge inside the Holy Columbian Commonwealth down here. But we're going to do our best to become the Great Buzzard and probably use our army to drum up some extra prestige by jumping in on any little wars that might be going around us. Get the giant tribal army of High Chief Golden marching, because that's going to be the way that we're going to play it out. This guy is going to become a prophet, maybe a prophet of profit, if we can seek the aid of the spirits and do some interesting deals with God and utilize the gospel of wealth for our own power. We might do that, but we'll see how this character turns out. So yeah, here we're gonna do our first giant tithe to our local mega church. We're gonna give them 75 gold, which is a giant amount of money, but we're trying to get the attention of God and hopefully get something back from him in this deal. Oh yes, speaking of getting something back, we got strong. So now the tale of where High Chief Golden is gonna get the strength for this massive invasion or pillage expedition down here to the Mississippi. Now it's officially a religious expedition in addition to everything else, right? We got a mission from God and the strength from God to prove it. So we're gonna go down here, probably pillage all the way through here, and then once we got the resources, we'll probably want to conquer Chattanooga, but we're gonna want to do some raiding on a pretty big scale first. It's just so efficient in terms of getting your army going. Oh cool, we got a horse, and I guess we're going to name him Cadillac here. That's pretty fun. But that's another nice source for prestige as tribal. Anything we can do to get our prestige up as quickly as possible is what we're probably going to be in for. It's just really, really good for you. We're going to burn our way down to Magnolia and see what we can take advantage of when it comes to the Civil War. So this is a civil war for control of this kingdom that the game starts with, where the legitimate ruler is fighting off an illegitimate child's claim on the throne. Oh boy, and we got a really good commander. A boy named Sue is joining us up with 31 prowess. Jeezy Pete's. But yeah, we're just gonna take advantage of this anarchy down here to see what sort of prestige we can win for ourselves, because this is gonna be sort of like a first pilgrimage for old High Chieftain Golden here. We're not exactly going to a holy site, but we are doing holy work. And we're going to go ahead and go on our first hunt. I think hunting is going to just be a core aspect to High Chieftain Golden, at least as long as he has the health necessary to do it. Oh my god. Alright, well we're going to hunt a bear at the very beginning, but we'll probably take some chicken options along the way to not die to it. Alright, so we took down the bear. Awesome. This is exactly what we're looking to start our way off, because now we just got a gigantic amount of prestige, and of course can plow that right back into our army. Just get this thing as big as we can, as quickly as we can, and then we should be able to make good on that goal to form the Appalachian Empire here. Ooh, we're out here on our first pilgrimage, and we're actually going to receive a prophecy. So let's see. You shall find that who seeks. Alright, let's see if that shows up in the future for High Chieftain Golden, or if that's just one of those stories that he tells people that never really goes anywhere. But what we are going to do here is we're going to go ahead and take Chattanooga. Chattanooga, of course, is one of our holy sites, so we want to take this territory back from the evangelicals, but we also need to convert it. And of course, because it's right here along the border with Tennessee, and these guys are sort of our like short-term rival for power, while the HCC is having its issues over here, we want to take Chattanooga. Just take this down, convert it, and then see where we can go from there. Boy, the troops of Golden are just rolling through these counts down here, and we're going so quickly that we're actually going to be able to attack Huntsville before the Kingdom of Tennessee. So we're going to have to fight at least one war with Tennessee just to take control of Tullahoma and Shoal Creek, probably multiple wars there, to be honest. But I like denying Huntsville to them if we get the opportunity to. The more Revelationist territory we can get under our control, I think the better. We're also going to take this as an opportunity to start building a gathering hall in Asheville. I'm not sure how many feasts we're going to do, but, you know, just in case High Chieftain Golden gets injured in some sort of battle or hunt, having a backup ability to do feasts is very good, and I think just a fun thing for us to do. By outflanking Tennessee down here, we've made it so now we can raid deep into Tennessee's territory with our entire stack. So I think we're going to go ahead and do that and see what we can do to start this rivalry off right. Oh, and it might include destroying one of their vassals' armies who are trying to defend against us. That would be pretty nice. Oh, good. We can seek the aid of the spirits yet again. Let's see what fate God has for us. Oh, we're going to get the Bush Spirit's Blessing? All right, I like it. +3 martial, +4 prowess. We have 40 prowess for these hunts. This is going to let us hunt some pretty powerful monsters down the road. Oh, and we have the opportunity to pick up a lover here. I mean, we're not lustful, but I think there's a certain aspect of truth to High Chieftain Golden being a little flirty. With our successful pilgrimage into the greater Mississippi Basin, we've brought in enough money that now we can actually field a men-at-arms that's scary enough that it looks like the HCC isn't even going to bother to drive us off. Now, you know, maybe the Emperor here is letting us pillage his vassals just because they've been disloyal recently, but I like to believe that it's because he's just afraid of our strength, right? Yeah, that's it. But in any case, this is going to be huge for our economy, because by being able to just pillage all along the border of the HCC, we are going to get colossal amounts of gold. And that is actually useful as a tribal character, even if prestige is marginally more useful. And it looks like our son Golden Biltmore is going to end up having a Herculean as well, and because he's turned into Rowdy, I think we're going to go ahead and just give him a martial education, and we'll train the boy ourselves. We'll teach him what it's like to be the emperor here in Appalachia. Oh boy, it looks like, yeah, river baptism is now spreading inside the Commonwealth. So this is going to be the holy conflict that's going on inside the Commonwealth at the same time that they're being pillaged from the outside by the Great Buzzard here. This is really dangerous for these poor guys here. This could be an opportunity to destroy the Commonwealth if things go well enough. I think it's time for us to go ahead and fight our first war with Tennessee. So we're going to go ahead and take the Duchy of Middle Tennessee, because that contains all of the territories that are Appalachian culture for us. And because these are Riverlanders, we don't want to have our Appalachian culture get wiped out. So we're just going to go ahead and take this entire duchy. That, of course, is going to set the Kingdom of Tennessee back to just Memphis and its environs, but it'll give us control over Nashville itself, which I like having control of Nashville. It'll give us an easy route into Bowling Green in Kentucky, and then we'll see how many of the holy sites we can take under our control. But this is another one of these prophetic visions that Golden had. God told us to go invade Tennessee. Oh, and speaking of God, it's time to seek his favor yet again. Let's see what 75 gold buys us this time. Ooh, we're gonna get the Wind Spirit's Blessing, 25% dread gain. Well, that's pretty scary. That's definitely a big boost to his ability to tell tales. All right, we are going to catch King Ellis's army here in Soddy Daisy and just destroy it, it looks like. He does have way more champions than we do because he's got an ally in this fight, but I don't think that's going to be enough to prop him up. Our troops are just way more elite than his at this point. And to make matters worse for Tennessee, we have really good siege weapons. We have 80 mangonels versus 10, so we can make very short work of their fortresses. We have defeated King Ellis of Tennessee and seized control of the Duchy of Middle Tennessee here, which means now we can redistribute land kind of however we want to. This is a huge upgrade for us. Yeah, you know what? We're going to go ahead and move our realm capital to Nashville itself. I think Nashville is going to serve as a pretty good location for us. We already have sparring grounds and trading outposts and walls and ditches down here. And of course, there is another tribe, a local tribe in Dixon that's loyal to this title. So we're going to move our capital down here to the new territory of Middle Tennessee, and we'll give our old realm away. That'll make us weaker in the short term, but I think long term having control over this massive stretch of territory is going to be really good for us. Alright, having now conquered the Duchy of Middle Tennessee as well as Huntsville and East Tennessee, we actually have enough control over the kingdom to usurp the title. So now we finally become a mighty king as King Golden of Tennessee here. But I think we're going to keep this episode rolling for just a little bit longer because I think we're going to pick up a little bit of more holy territory here in Bowling Green before we pass it off. But we're gonna keep on trying to blitz through these holy sites and see what we can do to spread the good word as well. So we managed to pick up a 42 learning court chaplain here who's going to actually be able to fight through the fact that, of course, converting as an unreformed faith is very difficult. But, we got the resources necessary, including just an enormous amount of prestige, to create an even bigger army and keep bullying the locals around here who are worshiping strange and incorrect gods. Galvanists are spreading in the Omenteller land. That's even more offensive to us because these guys, of course, are anachronists and our faith is vernacular. Ooh, alright, so we're out here attacking for control of one of our new holy sites, and at the same time are being attacked by some forces on the outside. Looks like they're trying to take advantage of our split attention, but unfortunately for them, our men-at-arms really are just outrageously good, and we have 18 champions because we've managed to start working down the gallant tree. Because I think that's on flavor for King Golden of Tennessee. I think we're going to go ahead and take this fight with all of these guys who tried to jump in against us while we were out here seizing Bowling Green. Yeah, it looks like, again, they're just not going to be able to keep up with the elite nature of this army and just get destroyed out here. That is exactly what we're looking for, because now, of course, once we defeated these guys and secured their money, we should be able to keep pushing into this area, into the new kingdom of Kanawha, if we can form it, or perhaps the kingdom of Kentucky. But we're not going to be forming the Empire of the Riverlands here with King Golden. He's got his eyes on a much more important cultural prize. Oh boy. Alright, so we actually have the ability to reform the Revelationist faith as one of the things we can do here with King Golden, because we do have control over a lot of these holy sites. But I think we're going to pause here with the Great Buzzard, and then we'll resume with the remainder of his reign. Maybe, depending on how healthy he is, this guy might get 3 episodes, because King Golden could easily live into his 90s if the tales that he tells are actually true. But with control over Tennessee, we actually might be able to start vassalizing some of these guys and using our faith as the real cudgel here. But yeah, that's it for We Play Games. I'm Walker. Take care.